What's up, everyone? It's Alisha, and this is Unturned Pages. Tonight, Jenny is not with me again. She had just finished up Penhurst Paracon, and I'm super jealous of her. You should see all of the pictures if you haven't yet of her with Josh Gates and Tanner and Alex from Project Fear, Katrina Weidman, Nick Groff, and Tessa. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to be there so bad. She had a blast, and she just won the SLS from Horn Paranormal tonight. Lucky again, like always. But tonight we're going to be having on John Griffin II, and we're going to be talking about Project Apparition Hall and all of his past stuff that he's done and future stuff that he's going to continue doing and whatnot. Before we bring him on, I do have a little promotional video that he wanted me to share. So I'm going to pull that up. If you guys have any questions during the show tonight for John or myself, please do so. So let me pull up that. Just one moment. Give me 1 second. It's been a while since I've done this. Oh my goodness. My daughter just scared me. Well, that was the little promotional video for John Griffin. Oh, there's Derek in the chat. That's my husband. So he's tuning in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in our guest. Hi again.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Had a busy day just like you, but I wasn't traveling 8 hours. And
You know what? I'm getting pretty used to it at this point. Like all this traveling, it seems like all these longer hours are just getting shorter and shorter, and pretty soon, I'll be doing like traveling out to Indiana or something like that, and 12 hours will become the norm. So.
Oh, Tiffany's in the chat. Hi, Tiffany. So you were telling me back screen, was this paranormal for a paranormal investigation or event, you said, right?
It was for a filming for another TV show that I'm a part of called Dark Echoes Paranormal. So we're in the process right now. They're filming season 2. And we got one more episode that we're supposed to be filming. It'll be the finale. So excited about that. May has been a very busy month.
Where is that going to be able to be seen at?
So, and actually, speaking of which, the comment that you have on screen right now, that's actually the producer.
Okay. So, hi.
Season 1 right now has just released on Amazon Prime. Currently, it's on Paraflix, Amazon Prime. on its way to Fossum and Tubi. And there's other ones that are looking at it that are interest right now. So definitely for everybody out there, pay close attention to what's going on right now. There'll be definitely more announcements that are coming in the future. So I was in the final or the season finale of Dark Echoes for season 1, and then I ended up becoming one of the main cast members for season 2. So season 2 is in the process of is in production right now, and near future it'll be in post production. So that's gonna be very exciting.
Okay. So is it called Dark Echoes on Prime then? Or what do I look for if I'm going to watch it?
Dark Echoes Paranormal.
Okay. I'm going to do that tonight. I'm excited to see that.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, season one was great, but I mean, wait until you see everyone sees season 2. I mean, the cast and the crew is just is incredible, and there's a lot going on during it, and it's just amazing to watch this all evolve. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
I can't wait to watch. Jenny Davis's mom is on the chats right now, so apparently they're at the Hoover house and they survived. I seen that Jenny crashed pretty hard on the car ride back to the Hoover house. It's a big hit in the UK. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, the numbers that are coming in the UK is just they're absolutely loving it. The US is right behind. The numbers are looking really good. So people are loving season 1. So you know, and it's only going up for their season 2. Like I said, season 2 is just going to be absolutely incredible. And that's just one of the many projects that I'm involved in. My the second in command for my paranormal team, Uini Research, Katie Peak. She is also joined the cast, and she also plays a big role as well in with the project Apparition Hall research. So we work very closely together. She's my best friend. We pick on each other all the time. She survived a 7-hour car ride home with me, so we're still friends.
That's awesome that she's on there with you too.
We have a very unique dynamic.
So you guys are like brother and sister pretty much because you're with each other all the time, I'm assuming.
Oh my. Yeah. It's funny because she saw me originally on another paranormal show, and so she looked me up. Because she saw that it said that it was Paranormal Survivor. It was about the haunting that my brother and I went through in Schenectady, New York, and she was like, "There's no way he's anywhere near this place anymore." Come to find out, we were only 10 minutes away from each other.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, we met up. She found out that I'm actually, a lot, that I'm like a wacky scientist of some sort, as opposed to what she saw on the show. I was like, yeah, I bet you weren't expecting that, were you?
Well, I know that you are a gamer because I feel like we kind of every time that we're doing gifts and stuff, like you pick up on the gift. I was like, oh, okay. So Skyrim and stuff. And so I was like,
oh,
okay.
Yeah. More specifically Nintendo gamer, but I have very good reference on other games, Skyrim and all that stuff. Yeah. Yep.
I love Nintendo 64.
I've had all of them. Of them. Right now I'm currently waiting for Nintendo Switch 2 coming out next month. So I'm like,
guess what? My husband and I, we just got a Nintendo Switch. And
nice.
Then we just found out that the Switch 2 is coming out. I was like, God dang it. We should have just freaking waited.
Well, the price on that is they're bringing it up. It's the Nintendo Switch sold so well. Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be coming out for $450, and that doesn't count the games. So I'm just kind of like,
yeah.
And it's the most expensive Nintendo console ever. So I'm just kind of like, you got to be kidding me. Like,
That's
I
half
gotta
of our
dig. I gotta
house
dig.
payment, not even half.
Well, I guess you're gonna have to make a choice now.
Yeah. Video games, house. I could play video games outside of a house, I guess. If I find a park and hack into somebody's Wi-Fi, like I should be fine, right?
Sharing is caring.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I was gonna say, dude, I didn't even know that. I was just scrolling on Facebook, and I think it might have been your page, and you were on Deathwalker season
Yes,
3,
season 4. Season
4.
4, episode 12. Yep.
I didn't
Um,
even know that. I don't think I've seen season 4 yet.
so I know that came out on Amazon Prime. Originally, I know the other seasons I know they appeared on Amazon Prime and they were Film Rise. Um,
Hmm.
uh, I I don't know what the issues were that were going on behind the scenes because that episode for that we were on for Deathwalker was filmed back in 2023. And so, fun fact for that, it was actually landed. The filming landed on my mother's anniversary. My mother's in the episode as well. Um,
That's cool.
oh yeah, first time she's ever done that. She was scared half to death, but she did phenomenal. She did phenomenal. Um, it was definitely a very emotional episode, and it was great to finally work with. I've always loved the way that Nick Roth did things, so to finally uh have a chance to research with him and talk with him and share ideas, our thoughts and opinions and such. It was great. Down to earth guy, one of the nicest people I've ever met, and it didn't surprise me because that's what you see in the show is who he is.
Yeah. I remember
So
the one episode with him and the Tesla, the big ass Tesla coil, and that was just like crazy. So that season 4 is on Prime, you say now though?
Amazon Prime, and specifically mine's gonna is episode 12. It's labeled
Okay.
as Wildwood Sanitarium.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to watch that for sure. Me and Derek will, because we like Deathwalker, and I love you too. So, and I've never met you face to face, but now I'm meeting you on the computer, and
I,
that's the same because we see each other.
I was gonna say we've been following each other and talking to each other online for Facebook for quite some time now. It's like about time. Yes, finally
Yeah.
we're but what's great though is it's like, because a lot of these things are dedicated to my brother Jeremy who passed.
Mhm.
And um Deathwalker at Wildwood Sanitarium, I mean, you've probably seen from online, and anybody who follows me, Wildwood Sanitarium is like a second home. We love that place. I've been there over 200 times. That's not exaggerating. Um, and the Wildwood family, the owners, they're a second family. We talk all the time. We've hung out. We even went to Cedar Point together. They're such great people. Deathwalker, um, released in January for the US. It was already out in the UK. It was the US that was having the problem getting it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
and
why I
that,
was like, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know
yeah,
if it was out yet in the US.
trust me, we were waiting and we were like, oh God, watch it not come out now. Um, then Dark Echoes releases their season 1, and and Wildwood Sanitarium is also again where I'm at. And oh jeez, Matt. um, um, yeah, that's a story in and of itself.
I love
There,
stories,
well,
especially the funny ones.
this one was a good one for sure. Uh, Wildwood though, like both episodes ended up connecting to Jeremy. So, and it's been great because it's really bringing attention to something that my brother and I were working on, which was Project Apparition Hall. So to have both of these series, and let me tell you something, Nick did a great job. Um, Matt Dark Echoes, he did a phenomenal job. Both episodes were great. And so that actually kind of leads into actually what the question is on the screen.
I had a feeling it was going that way, so I just put it up there.
Don't worry, Derek, it's coming. So Project Apparition Hall, what that is, it's actually the last project that my brother and I worked on together before he took his own life. And basically, the focus of it is to understand the composition and manifestation process of spiritual entities, and having the ability to be able to capture that via, well, right now it's photography, but we're going through video, and we want to see how they essentially put themselves together, create a conducive environment where they are able to essentially show themselves better. So essentially, how it works on their end, we're trying to understand the physics of it and exactly what they use within the environment to put themselves together. Because, I mean, I know it's typically said, well, spirits are made out of energy, but we have to remember there's multiple categories of energy, and then
Right.
within the energy, what like the different things that they have with the different elements in the environment, what are they using that brings them together for that moment where you can see them. So what's happened with and the thing is we were making progress with EVPs with the audio research. Um, we were finding trends and we were making great progress. But the research came to more of a stall because uh, we can't see them. So how, we want to see how they're interacting, how they're doing this stuff. Like, how are they talking without a body? How are they moving objects without a body? We want to understand more of their limitations. Until we understand what they're truly made out of, how they put themselves together, it's going to be difficult to solve all these other aspects of the paranormal. So this is why the apparition portion became front and center. And the other reason it became front and center is because it's uh, we started making progress with that where we weren't making it before. So uh, the traditional, just to give quick numbers, not to bore anybody with this, uh, the traditional method, such just taking random pictures, flash camera, uh, we found the statistics were anywhere from 700 to 900 photos before you may get something unusual in it. Jeremy got it down to 250 to 500 using long exposure photography with no flash. Project Apparition Hall got it down to 75 to 100 photos.
Wow.
So you think about that, high 900 down to potentially 75 to 100. That's what Project Apparition Hall. So what we're finding is we're looking for the trends within those apparitions. We're analyzing every photo. We're checking to see what the environment conditions are, all that type of stuff. We're trying to narrow it down as to why is this working and how can we improve upon it. And of course, naturally, we know that if a spirit plays a role in putting itself together on its own, choosing to do so, we know that plays a role in that too. That, there may be places we go to where we try this and they go, yeah, I'm not interested, don't want to. And then we get nothing. So we have to take that into account as well, is their willingness to do it, if that plays a role, or does it even matter? Do they have to do something to show themselves, or is it strictly environmental, or is it a combination of both? So what people are seeing with the Apparition Hall in Deathwalker, it has a variation of it. It has an older one. And the current Apparition Hall, we're just testing elements of it before we build the first actual prototype. So that's where you get the word hall in it, because we're actually going to create a hall of sorts that's going to have specific elements, that's going to essentially put it where we're going to test to see if we can have them put themselves together, so to speak.
Okay. I was going to ask, so have you ever tried to create some kind of humidity during any of the projects? Because I feel like, because you can kind of feel humidity almost, like you can feel it in the air for sure.
Yes. So that actually goes along with a hypothesis we had called the thunderstorm effect. And it involved humidity. We were looking at water molecules. We were checking the different, and this is something that Jeremy and I were doing when when he was alive. We were checking to see if there are specific places where apparitions were forming more so than others. And this didn't include just places where we went. If people took videos or photos, or we went online, we read books, and we started pulling out numbers like, we started trying to categorize and see where people may be experiencing it, and if there's specific environmental factors like, okay, they see the ghosts. There's a lot of people who see a ghost by the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're looking at bodies of water. Is this a common element? And so, yeah, humidity. That's actually, we use a blue light and humidity, our humidifier. So we do humidify the environment. We get it up to
Okay,
about
cool.
we try to get it to about 70% or so humidity. We're finding about a 70% range is what we're getting. But there's fluctuation here and there. So there's that. I did see some questions about like the camera.
Yes.
So we've switched it up. We still have to do more testing right now. We've just been using I've been using my iPhone 14, no flash, no raw photography, just straight up just clicking the photos, no alterations. We're actually taking anywhere from 1 to 2 photos per second. So by the time we're done with the research session, we average about 400 to 500 photos.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
my eyes go crossed.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine looking through that much.
Well, there was one point. There was one where it was almost 1,000.
Oh my
It
God.
was, yeah.
There's no way that you got that all done in one day, right?
No. On average, I would say for that one, it was about a month.
Yeah.
Our team has a very strict procedure. We go through a four step process, which is I even had the name for it. It was and now I'm having a brain fart.
I can smell it. Sorry. No.
Excuse me. It was, that's what it is. Detect is phase 1 of the review. Identify, verify, and accept. So everything goes through that 4-phase process, which is why it takes us a long time. And we don't just do that for photos. We do that for everything. EVPs, objects moving. That's the method that we use. But it goes along with the scientific method.
Derek's laughing about her brain fart joke.
Hey, Derek, as long as you don't smell it either, I'm sorry if you do.
You can't smell it, but it's there. Oh, I'm so sorry. But I'm having fun, so as long as you're having fun too.
Of course.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm having a brain fart.
Yeah.
So
I'll keep my nose.
Okay. Where did you all start? Where did you start at? Like, where did you start to go forward with Project Apparition Hall? I guess I should ask.
So, I officially gave it. I officially gave it its name after Jeremy's passing, but prior to that, it was evolving. So there was we developed the thunderstorm effect hypothesis, the rainbow effect hypothesis, internally for our team, but then it stalled because nothing was happening. And just to give an idea, I've been actively researching the paranormal leading operating paranormal teams, going on 23 years in August. I could tell you that we've been looking at apparitions since I walked into doing research. But it wasn't until Jeremy tried long exposure photography, he tried something different, and that was back in 2018. He started getting unique results, which started to lead us down a path that there are certain things about apparitions we may not have taken into consideration. So he was actually front and center on that. In which
on his belly.
Sorry, just 1 second.
No, you're good.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. Jeremy started using a green laser, but he was using it like he was basically using long exposure photography and then using a green laser in the dark. And basically, what he was trying to do was, in simplistic terms, that he would use is color in the ghost. When he was doing that, it wasn't working. He kept on saying, we were both about to give up on it, and he was upset because it wasn't yielding any results, and he was asking me, like, why are we continuing to do this? So I proposed, let's change the direction of the green laser, and why don't we add other things to the environment to see if that works, based off of what we've found so far about the potential of what they're made out of. And so we agreed we were going to test it. Unfortunately, Jeremy's depression really hit him, and we didn't get to test it until after his passing. And so I basically took what we talked about, and I said, you know what, we're going to put it into action. We're going to try this. It was hard for me before. I didn't want to do it for a while because it was emotional. It was something that, I feel like I feel like it was painful, because this was something that we were supposed to do together. So how can I walk back into this? But I said I have to do it for him. And when we first tried it for the first time ever, Jeremy was the apparition that came through. And, that was at Wildwood Sanitarium too. And when the apparition, because somebody else took the photo, my friend Rick Perry took the photo. And I had no clue this was caught. I was downstairs. My parents were downstairs. It was for a suicide awareness event that the Wildwood team put together. And Rick Perry came to me. I think it was Rick Perry. I know he took the photo, but the phone was put down in front of me that he took the photo on, and he said, "John, just look." And I have OCD. Really bad. I will notice every little thing. My eyes were quickly drawn to someone sitting in the photo. I'm like, wait, what? Who is this? I looked. I zoomed in. I'm like, that's. I was shocked. Lab coat and everything. It was my brother. I handed the phone, the picture, to my mother. And all I said was, we got Jeremy. I ran out the front door of Wildwood Sanitarium. I just remember falling to my knees in front of on the sidewalk in front of Wildwood Sanitarium and just sobbing. So it was a very emotional moment. But you know what? Jeremy seems like he's continuously guided me, and he was like, you know what? Yes, we did work on this together. Yes, I'm not around, but I'm going to help you test this. And then he came through, and that's when we really said we got to push forward. We may have something here.
I'm so sorry about your brother.
Oh, thank you. That one, I'll tell you, that picture, September 11th, 2022. That was the first time we tried it officially.
Derek asked if you've ever tried coming in contact with him, obviously.
He reached out with he reached out within the first year. That was actually in his note, in his suicide note. That's actually the last line in his note. Is he said, "John, we'll be in touch. I promise." Um, so, and he fulfilled the promise, and he continues to come through. He continues to help. And that's why we're moving forward. It's like he has that other information on that side. And he's indicated there are rules he has to follow, so he can't just tell me. But
That's interesting.
it's an interesting dynamic. Do I love this dynamic? No. Of course, naturally, I want Jeremy here. But you know, at least I have contact. At least he's helping. At least he's, he hasn't forgotten his family. He hasn't forgotten his brother. Because I know for a fact, we certainly haven't.
Yeah, he would he would never forget about you. I just, my sister, I know even though we'd fight or whatever, we still think about each other and love each other at the end of the day, and even if my brothers, I haven't really been close with them because we have a huge age difference. They're 13 and I'm 32. So I haven't been really able to be a part of their life, but I know that hopefully they think that I still love them, and I'm still big sister.
Well, I tell this to everybody, because I had a half sister. She died when I was a kid. I didn't really have much of a relationship with her. So, I mean, and then my brother passed in 2021, and that officially made me an only child. So when I see,
Wow.
All these people who have their siblings and whether they may have a disagreement or not, or they're having trouble with them, I always say, look, let me tell you something. You're lucky to have what you have. You're lucky to have a brother or sister, siblings, however, whether it's one or multiple. Keep them close, because I've lost family. Of course, I've lost, my great grandparents. I was there when my great grandfather passed. I mean, granted, it's different when it comes down to suicide. Very different. There's a different type of pain, but also the pain of a sibling. It's an unforgettable pain. It's undescribable. It's different. I've never experienced anything like it. For the longest time, and it's gotten better, but I would say it's not better. The pain's there, but it's tolerable. I say that every time I either wake up or the first thought of Jeremy pops into my mind, he dies again. So it's like I relive that day every day since it happened. So, even putting together and that actually brings up the other part is that Project Apparition Hall. I'm turning that into a series. And since I had interactions with Dark Echoes Paranormal, Matt has his own production company called Dark Echo Productions, and I hired them to help produce this, so that it could become high quality, the quality it needs to be to get onto these other networks. Because talking to him, I found out there's a thing called broadcasting standards. I didn't know about this. He started showing me all the things that had to be done. Otherwise, Amazon won't take it. TV networks won't take it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, so all this time I'm doing all this other stuff and being like, well, why can't this, why can't TV networks take this? And it turns out that you have to have very specific things. Otherwise, you could have a great show if the video is not right, the lighting, like sound, all that different type of stuff. They won't accept it specifically for that, even if it's a great story. They would end up refilming those episodes or episode. So we hired them. We finished production of Project Apparition Hall, the pilot episode, and Now I'm working on the post-production aspect of it. I've been hours upon hours upon hours, and Jeremy's story's in there, and it's also a series to me that it's dedicated to him. Um, and it's going to be very different, and I'm really excited to show people what it's all about. It's really going to bring the story to life, and it's going to be very, very emotional. I've had some people that have already seen some parts of it, and they
Yeah.
already teared up.
I have, and I'm definitely going to be playing this after we get done chit chatting a little bit more. I was going to ask, so how many seasons is it going to be? How many episodes are going to be in each season?
So there actually is for the US, a typical season is supposed to be 7 episodes or more. So there actually is a standard for that too. So we have to, right now we're doing the pilot episode to generate interest and to demonstrate the series. And if it gets picked up and we get the funding necessary, we're going to push forward. Of course, we have a GoFundMe going to continue additional funding. But we want to go as many seasons as possible. The whole point of the series, the main storyline, is the progress of Project Apparition Hall to the big finale of when we get that final version, and it's just incredible. And yep, that one. And
gotcha. I thought I'd put that up there for you because I knew we were going to talk about it.
I appreciate it. We've had great success putting it together, but it's been an emotional process because really wanting to tell this story and get it out there. And so as for the series, it will go either until the networks don't take it anymore, or we successfully accomplish our mission, which hopefully it's the latter. Now, I know on there it says documentary, so we've changed it. So it's no longer a documentary. I was going to just do like 1 hour and a half, 2 hour thing. And it turned out, as we're looking at it, a documentary just doesn't work for it. This is something that's a continuous story. So it's actually, continuing for that. It's going to be an ongoing story, so we decided to turn it into a series instead, and it's actually working so much better.
So how much more money do you need to raise to continue doing this? Do you have a goal?
There is a goal. I mean, our top goal right now, specifically more for the season, is 25,000 in total. I mean, we can move forward. We can move forward with 15,000. It'll probably get us partway through. But we want to take it to the next level with, like we have a music composer, but of course all this stuff costs money. I get great deals. His name is Miguel Pardo. He helps me out a lot. He's an excellent composition. We want to get it to a point that all compositions are not from like story blocks or other sites or from software. We want original compositions that are dedicated, themed specifically for the show. We got to consider the locations that there's cost for that, cost for travel, cost for the production crew, hotels.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to do that. I pressed a button.
So there's a lot of production is not easy, especially if we want to get it done right.
And that's hours of editing. Editing is time, dude.
I could tell you just from my experience, depending on the length and how the type of content, like how well it's filmed and such, it could take me anywhere from 100 to 300 hours to put together a 40-minute episode. And that's just my experience from just doing the path to communication. So the path to communication, that's another YouTube episode, pilot episode we put out there. That one we put out an original pilot. I took it down. I had somebody from the industry look at it, and she said, here's things that need to be improved on it. So we redid multiple parts. We did additional filming for like interviews and such, re-put it together. So that's where that 300 hours came in. It turned out phenomenal. We did have a network that looked at it and they said I just said, we're looking for an opinion on it. They gave me about a page and a half tearing it apart.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, the Hollywood, let me tell you, the filming industry, they are, it's not forgiving. It's not forgiving. But the difference between succeeding in filmmaking versus failing is the ability to whether or not you can take the criticism and not take it to heart, but instead, learn and then improve upon it, because there's very specific things that have to happen. And for me, when I'm looking at this as like, this is my brother's legacy, this is part of his legacy, and I want to keep a promise to him. I'm not gonna fail him. And so when we hired Dark Echo Productions, we knew we had the right people for it, because I've already seen what he's able to do. And there's some things that he showed me, other behind the scenes projects that he's done, that I looked at. I'm like, this looks like something that would be in the cinema. Like we're talking like a huge theater. So when people see this one, I'm telling you, it's going to look like a movie. And we're so excited about the audio's great, and then the story that we have put together, because the story is a huge part of it. The story is just going to be phenomenal. It's really going to, I feel like it's really going to engage people. And then people are going to become even more interested in Project Apparition Hall itself. And naturally, with the series as it progresses, we want to bring more people in. We want other paranormal researchers, stuff that may have some ideas, that want to try different experiments with Project Apparition Hall. We get them on, some episodes, and we start doing different things together. So it's
Okay.
it granted, the main story is Katie and I.
Yeah.
We're the main cast. But even with the pilot episode, we're already bringing in other people. Whether they're assisting us with some research portions of it, or if they're giving us some historical information for hauntings that may help us with apparitions and such.
Yeah. So I think now would be a perfect time. Should we show the trailer teaser?
Yep.
The
Now I'm going to give a real quick the teaser trailer.
Yeah.
This was an earlier edition. This is when it was going to be looked at as a documentary. So the footage, some of the footage that you're going to see there, that's from the earlier filming before we hired Dark Echo. So when you see this versus the final product, it's gonna look even better.
Okay. Let me share screen. Sorry, I'm kind of slow at this. Let's see. Can I make this big? Full screen. Let me mute my mic. And we're good.
It was at these 3 locations where Project Apparition Hall would begin. And these 3 apparitions that would help us form the hypothesis. But before my brother and I could conduct the experiment, a tragic event occurred. It would be my brother who would be the first to appear during Project Apparition Hall. And from there, the results continued to increase. It was time to bring this experiment back to where it all began. Learn the history of Project Apparition Hall and be the first to witness the conclusion of Phase 1 of this experiment.
Where are we? Oh, I was about to say, man, now I need some popcorn that my daughter made a little bit ago because that was so good. It's like, you want to keep eating the popcorn at the movie? Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good. It really is like so intense. It's like it gave me goosebumps too, you know, because the music is just like, oh.
You know, I love implementing music into it. I'm very, very particular about it. So I'm listening to all these different soundtracks and such. I'm just like, you know, things have got to line up for me. And part of that's my OCD too, because if it's like off a little bit, I'm going to notice it and I'm just going to be like, you know, Stephanie, how's it going? So it's, you know, looking at what we've been working on, it's all coming together. And, you know, I do this not for the paranormal field as well as the scientific community. I really want the scientific community to, and we've talked to professors and scientists. We're getting people involved, and we want the scientific community to really start taking the research that's going on seriously. So with Project Apparition Hall, we're doing a lot of tests inside internally, but we want to bring Project Apparition Hall, once we get the prototype and all that stuff built, we want to get it out to the mass market. We want to get it out to the paranormal field. We want to be able to help other paranormal research teams move forward, be able to help other people and such, and we'll continue to build on it and continue to help. And with the scientific field's connections and such, we can create something that would be even better, get better quality, people that have other diverse backgrounds, a different knowledge of things that we might be missing. So we have everything that we do, that our team does is there's always more than one mission behind it. We have our major mission, finding that truth, but you know, like Apparition Hall, focusing on not just our own research and getting to that truth, but also helping to propel the paranormal field forward. And we hope that once we get there, the paranormal field, when they use it with their different research, whatever other teams are researching, we hope that it ultimately helps them as well, and we start really seeing progress. I feel like that's a very exciting prospect in my opinion.
Yeah, it's going to be so huge to see people wanting to try and do what you're doing, what you and your brother set out to do, you know. That would be like, I would feel so honored, you know, if I was in your shoes.
You know what? To me, it's in the end, I just my focus is just helping. Um,
Yeah.
trying to elevate. And that's the thing about leadership, because that's something that I've done throughout my life. I've always been like a supervisor, part of management, leading the paranormal teams. Um, Leadership is about elevating people, elevating others to become the best they can be. And
Mhm.
yes, the paranormal field has its major flaws, all the drama, all that stuff, which is just, I don't even pay attention to it. It frustrates the heck out of me.
Same.
But it doesn't stop me from trying to, help the people who want who really actually want, uh, or that are in it for the right reasons, that they really want to find the truth, that they really do want to help see the field move forward. Those are the people, and the people who are open-minded. This is a field you have to be open-minded. You have to have a neutral approach for the
Mhm.
science portion of it, and you have to be willing to see past everybody or each other's differences. And this field struggles with that. And I try to tell people, if people have such a hard time dealing with everybody, each other in the paranormal field, the scientific community is just going to tear you apart, because they are relentless. Um, and so that's why even I could be tough. I know I'm usually typically very soft, approachable, and such. But you put scientific stuff down in front of me, ask for my opinion on it, I'm gonna go into science mode, and I'm gonna say what, not not as an insult. I'm gonna be just blunt. Here's what I'm seeing. Um, but if people can't have trouble accepting that part, like what I say, even though I typically will be diplomatic, good luck standing in front of a panel of scientists. And we know that ultimately one day we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to really stand in front of them. And that's why with Project Apparition Hall, there's just so much that we're doing, so much data that we're collecting, and we're trying to make sure that we're not having bias and subconscious bias enter into our research. It happens. We're human. But if we can't, if we feel like that, if from our end, if we can't with our stuff get the scientific community to be more involved and see the benefits of the field, then we're also letting down the paranormal field as well. Somebody hi.
She keeps bugging me, so I'm just like, at this point, I'm just gonna put her on screen, so then she will actually be okay.
Oh.
But I absolutely love watching how far you've come, and just to listen about you working on this so hard. And I can't wait to see how much further that you go. And I can't wait till it actually comes to fruition and we actually get to watch the whole seasons, And yeah, man, it looks so good.
Well, and I'm hoping at some point that we're going to end up doing some research together. I mean, now that we've actually talked face to face on the video.
I would love that so much. Because like I already vibe with you. Like I just feel like you're funny, you're outgoing, and you're nerdy like I am, and just down to earth.
Hey, I take the nerdy part as a compliment.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I picked up that vibe, but I didn't want to give it a label. But I definitely see your Rick and Morty in the background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I never expected that I would like that series. I just randomly walked by and I never heard of it. Season 1 DVD sitting there in Walmart. I had nothing to watch and I was like, what the heck? I'll give it a shot. First 5 minutes of the episode, I'm like, okay, I'm a lifelong fan here.
Derek wants to know what's your most favorite location to investigate.
I'm gonna sound very biased on this one, but naturally it's Wildwood Sanitarium. Again, being a sponsor there, it's a home away from home. The spirits are amazing there. They love us. They communicate with us. They work with us. We get answers from them even about when we ask about Project Apparition Hall. But I also love Wilson Castle was another great place. The Hinsdale House. Hard to get into Hinsdale House because that place is booked like crazy. But those were a few of my favorite places. It's just unbelievable to me. I have to throw this out there. Wilson Castle is in Vermont, right? Wilson Castle's in Vermont. I'm in New York. It takes me about an hour and 45 minutes to get to Wilson Castle. Wildwood Sanitarium, which is also in New York State, in the same state as me, takes me about 5 hours to get to. Same state, 5 hours away. Another state, an hour and a half away. I told Lori, I told Brooke, I swear I'm going to pick up. They're going to move because I'm going to pick up Wildwood Sanitarium and them, and I'm moving them over here. Like
you're going to take it and push it to where you're at.
I'm doing it SpongeBob style.
Thank you. You got my reference. Oh my gosh. It's just like, okay, so I have to say I can totally understand that situation because Illinois is like the same thing. So like we're going to Sumner, Illinois for Pine Lawn Manor investigation, the 31st, with a group of people. That's almost 5 hours away. Ashmore Estates, it's in Illinois also. That's almost 5 hours away. And then you got like Edinburgh Manor, and that's in Iowa, but we're border Iowa. We're literally, you can jump on the bridge and you'll be there in 15 minutes. That's an hour 45 away. So it's the same. So I can completely understand what you're talking about.
I still haven't been to Illinois yet for paranormal research yet. So I mean, it's gonna have to be a destination at some point. Listed on all these places, I have to check them out.
Either. Yeah, we got quite a few around here.
Yeah, I definitely have to check them out.
You should come with us.
Yeah. No,
team up with us at one of these places.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, we gotta set something up for sure.
Okay, I'm down. What's the creepiest place you've ever investigated? Have you had a creepiest place that you've investigated? Derek wants to know.
Ooh. See, I don't really get scared that easily. I mean, I grew up in a haunted house. My haunting started, I remember my haunting starting more at 4. So back then it was creepy to me because, having that haunting for 19 years, I kind of got used to it. So I'm one of those people that I'll see a shadow figure and, I'll be running in the pitch dark right towards it. Hey, please come and talk to me. Don't go.
Hey, you, ask me about my wiener. Sorry, another movie reference. If you've ever seen Accepted, it's another really good movie.
That one I have not seen. I'm trying, honest. I've had creepy situations happen, but as for locations, there hasn't been really a place that has gotten me to the point that it's like, I can't be here. I gotta run out. I guess that kind of disappoints me a bit now. Like I don't.
Well, let's go with the creepy situation.
I mean, yeah. Well, so I've got a few of those. I mean, this would be a whole nother story, which would be my my childhood haunting. But that one,
let's hear about it because I want to know like your first paranormal experience too.
I'll get that one right after. The creepy one, just to answer that. The creepy one, just to answer that one. The haunting that I dealt with did turn into an actual, and I mean legitimate, not YouTube style, demonic haunting. And so that basically what happened was when I was younger, there was my friends and I, we were playing hide and seek, and downstairs we had this large closet room, and it was like 4 or 5 layers of clothes that go back. And I decided to hide in the middle of there. If someone tries to come in and look there, I'm just going to slowly move my way around.
Yeah.
Well, when I was hiding in there, I heard a noise, and I turned, and I noticed that some clothes were swaying. And then I will never ever forget this image. I saw something with like reddish skin. It basically was like this. The clothes went there, and it was so like you got the gray alien eyes, with the big black eyes.
Yeah.
This was worse. This looked like it was peering into nothing. Like there was no eyes there, but you knew it was watching you. It was just pure black, and that's all I saw was that pure black eye, partial face, the clothes went like this. You saw it, and then it went back, and then it was gone. And I bolted out of there. I lost the hide and seek game because of it, but it was worth losing. That was I would say the most frightening experience I ever had, and it was my first encounter with that thing. Laurie Wildwood. So there was that. Now my first experience, to answer that one, was when I was 4. There was this. I was in the back room that would. It was the playroom, which would eventually be my brother's childhood room. And I got up and I looked outside into the backyard, and I saw this really bright. It looked very angelic being, and it was so calming. And all I remember, it was floating, and then there was like a flash of light that just flashed at me, and then it was gone. And that was my first. It was such a great experience. I felt calm. I've never seen anything. I thought it was beautiful, and I was so curious what that was. And I was going to a Christian nursery school, so I actually asked them, like, I saw this. What is this? I was not good with sitting down for the Bible portion, because I wanted to play with the toys. But that one, they were like, "Oh, John, that sounds like an angel. You should come over here for the Bible study here, so we'll talk about that." And so that's how they lured me into the Bible part.
Yeah.
But that was my first experience. And then the experiences just got dark from there for that haunting.
Oh. From that angel-like figure that you saw, or the red face with like no eye thing?
So the angel was the first part. The demonic entity, that was years later, and that's what it progressed from. It went from seeing that angelic being to this guy that my brother labeled as the hunter. He was a primary figure. Did not like, he tormented my brother and I. There was a little girl that I saw once that said, "Help me, help me." She was in the hallway. My imaginary friend, so to speak, I called him Jonathan. He was hiding up in the attic. He told me he was hiding from the bad man. So, I wouldn't put 2 and 2 together until years later, thinking that maybe this kid is hiding from this hunter, the hunter guy. So I had those specific entities, and then that all led up to that really nasty one that just showed up. So we had I would say I had kind of a full spectrum of a haunting. Objects moving, children, negative spirit, angelic, demonic. I got to experience pretty much the whole thing.
And was that all in the same house?
Yes. Yep.
Wow. Is your parents still living in that same house or what?
No, we moved out when I was about 19 years old, and we only moved about not just over 5 minutes away, and it was night and day. Um, but yeah, we moved out, and I stayed at my new parents' place uh, for several years, and then eventually moved out. Um, but yeah,
And then
a
everything
majority of
stopped when you moved?
um for a while, um, the demonic one I believe did follow. Um, but the rest of them didn't. And the crazy part is that a few uh, within the past year, there was someone who actually they did some background research on my old home. Um,
Yeah.
they sent me a picture because I described what the person looked like, what the hunter
Oh
looked like.
God.
They sent
I
me a
can only
picture.
imagine. I'm waiting.
Yep. They as soon as they sent the picture to me, I was like, that looks like him. Wait, is and they said this person lived at your house. He was in the military.
Oh my
Like,
God.
yeah.
Like Hunter.
Well, and the reason that Jeremy is the one who named it because I never saw him in a military outfit. Jeremy saw him one night. He woke up. He was in the living room because we were so scared to sleep in our rooms. We started sleeping in the living room. He woke up and he saw that guy dressed in a camouflage outfit. He had glowing red eyes and he was pointing a gun at him. And so Jeremy told me the description of him, and it matched the description of what I saw, only I typically see him more in a casual dress, but same figure, hair, all that stuff. We were describing the same person, just different outfits. We didn't have a name for him, so
Wow.
Jeremy called him the Hunter, and the name just stuck. We just started calling him the Hunter.
What did you find out what his name was when that person sent you that was weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
Did you did?
Yes.
Was that your screen or in the room with you?
That was not my screen. It was I just literally saw it appear on only the StreamYard portion.
What the hell?
Yeah. It's
anybody else see that? Who knows? That kind of threw me off. What were we talking about? Oh, so did you find out a name for him, for the person that sent you the photo?
There was a name attached to it. I don't have it in front of me, but yes, we do have a name. Date of death, so it actually does match up. I've always described him as a middle-aged male, and sure enough, he was middle-aged when he passed. There were so many things that lined up. I just don't have very specific information about him. Like, did he do anything to, like, did he hate children? Did he kill a little girl or a little boy or something like that? Like, where do these kids come into play here? Do they have anything to do with him? I just find it interesting that a little girl was yelling saying, "Help me, help me." And then there's a boy hiding in the attic from him. Or supposedly from him. I'm assuming when he said the bad man, I'm thinking the Hunter. So we're still working on that connection. I do know there was a child there. I think they got the little. I think that we got the little girl, but we haven't found anything out about the little boy yet.
Okay, that's interesting that you guys have found that out so far. Are you going to try and do more research at all, or?
Eventually, I'll be honest. If that house goes up for sale, or someone calls or something like that, I would be happy to go back there, as a paranormal researcher, because I didn't do that stuff at my house. I would love to go and childhood home and see what happens.
Derek's going to try and look back on what happened with the screen.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, I'm going to have to get off. something's calling my name right now. But I wanted to say thank you for coming on. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you, and I absolutely love everything that you're working on, and I can't wait to see more. And we definitely need to make this get together investigation an actual thing. I'm serious, and my husband is totally down with it, and I know the rest of the guys would be totally down with it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and it was a blast. It was finally great to talk to you, and yeah, we definitely have to set something up. 1,000%,
So,
not even 100%.
yeah. So for anybody who's trying to keep up with Project Apparition Hall, where do they keep an eye out on?
So you can either go to my Facebook profile, which just the name that you see right on the screen right now, and we also have a Project Apparition Hall page. But keep in mind that if you type in Facebook Project Apparition Hall, there is a another Project Apparition page. So make sure to add in Hall, and then you'll see our page pop up. And then on top of that, again, there's going to be things coming up for Dark Echoes Paranormal. It's been shown now that we are doing Project Apparition Hall during episodes during Dark Echoes for season 2. We're not going to say exactly what experiments we've put with Project Apparition Hall, but there's some really, really, really cool stuff. So Dark Echoes Paranormal page as well. Matt and Stacy, who's the PR manager for Dark Echoes Paranormal, they post things there. They'll have updates and such.
Okay, and that can be seen on only Prime, or can it be seen elsewhere? Dark Echoes Paranormal.
Paraflix, Amazon Prime, and then in the near future, no date yet, but there'll be announcements, Fossum and Tubi. And then, of course, Project Apparition Hall, which is a post-production, we'll have announcements on both our GoFundMe page that you had up, Project Apparition Hall page, as well as my personal profile.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna check out those after I get off here. So I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, John?
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care.
Man, he is such a great guy. I can't wait to actually do something with him now. I have been friends with him on Facebook for years, and we're just now getting to meet face to face tonight. So I'm honored. He's such a cool guy. So I'm going to go ahead and end the show tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure that you go check out Project Apparition Hall, guys. And if you can, even if it's $1 or $2, whatever, help out Project Apparition Hall, because it does need the funds to continue working on what his brother, him, and Katie are going to do and have been doing. So thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful night.